This is the Osprey Nebula 32L, and it's great, but I keep wondering what if something smaller actually makes more sense. So I tested both the Nebula and the Osprey Quasar 26L with real packing, daily use, and of course, water resistance test to see which one actually fits better. Before the packing demo and the rest of the test, let's quickly go over the main differences. The Osprey Nebula is noticeably wider, has 3 compartments and comes with the side compression straps to send the bag down when it's not fully packed. The Osprey Quasar is smaller, lighter, has 2 compartments and feels more straightforward overall. Now, let's see how that translates in real life. Let's start with the laptop setup on the Osprey Quasar. This one is definitely simpler. There's no separate laptop compartment. Everything goes into the main compartment. Inside there are 3 pockets here. One for my MacBook Pro 16-inch, which fits pretty much perfectly, and 2 smaller ones where I'm placing my iPad 11-inch. And there is some bottom protection here, which is always nice to see. Moving on to the Osprey Nebula, this one has a separate laptop compartment. There is 1 pocket for my MacBook Pro 16-inch and 2 additional pockets on the other side, where I can fit both my iPad 11-inch and iPad 13-inch pretty comfortably. It definitely feels more spacious overall, and this compartment opens completely flat. That can be really convenient for travel and airport security. But you need to be a little careful when you open it, because your laptop could slide out if you're not paying attention. Back to the Osprey Quasar. I'm still working with that same main compartment, the laptop seats. I'm adding 3 packing hooks here, but I'm not filling all the way up. I still want easy access to my laptop without having to unpack everything. Now let's see how much the main compartment on the Osprey Nebula can actually fit. By the way, it does look bigger than the Osprey Quasar, just not dramatically bigger. I started with the same packing hoops I used in the Quasar and then tried added a larger one. It technically fit after moving things around, but I actually ended up taking it back out. I then back to the original setup because it made more sense. And on the top of that, I was still able to fit a liquid pouch and a tech pouch. Since the laptop sits separately, I can fully pack this compartment out. Now let's move to the front compartment and start with the Osprey Quasar. Right away, there is a good amount of organization here. There is a zippered pocket where I'm placing my wallet and passport. Inside, there are smaller mesh pockets and I'm putting things like a charger, power bank, and pen. There's also a key clip here, which is always useful. And I'm also adding the same tech pouch and liquid pouch I packed in the main compartment of the Osprey Nebula. And everything fits pretty well. Now switching to the Osprey Nebula. The internal organization feels almost identical. I'm filling this pocket with the same items I used in the Osprey Quasar. And it might feel slightly roomy but not dramatically different. And since my liquid pouch and tech pouch are already sitting in the main compartment, I'm adding 2 other smaller pouches here instead. And they fit without any issues. There's still plenty of room for quick access. One thing to keep in mind though, if you want to fully open this compartment on the Nebula, you'll usually need to unclip the compression straps first. Now let's finish packing the rest of the Osprey Quasar. There's also a separate top pocket here that works really well for sunglasses. It's pretty spacious. I could easily fit 1 larger pair or even 2 medium-sized pair. Then I moved to the side pockets. I'm placing my tripod on the side and a water bottle on the other. And the compression straps here actually works really well. Everything feels very secure and nothing is falling out. And finally, this standing test. Unfortunately, this one didn't do great. Once fully packed, it struggled to stay stand. Now finish up with the rest of the Osprey Nebula. Just like Quasar, there is also separate top pocket here for sunglasses, and this one is just as spacious. I'm placing my tripod on the side and my water bottle on the other. And this where Nebula feels different. These upper compression straps do a much better job securing taller items like a tripod. Everything feels much more locked in compared to the Osprey Quasar. And I also noticed that this side pocket feels a little easy to use. The bag is fully packed. On the Quasar, once the main compartment is packed out, this pocket definitely feels tighter. The trade-off is that the straps can slow down quick access a little bit, but if you carry taller gear often, this setup makes a lot of sense. Right now it's doing pretty well in the standing test, but in the next section I'll show you what happens once I add my jacket. Let's talk about the front storage. First, the Osprey Quasar. I'm using my jacket as an example here. This bungee system works well for bulkier but lighter stuff like jackets, hoodies, or towels. It holds everything pretty well, and visually it definitely gives you the bag a more outdoorsy look. But smaller things can easily slip out from the bottom. Now on the Osprey Nebula, I'm using the exact same jacket. The stretch pocket feels much faster. You can just throw things in, and once you secure everything with these compression straps, it feels very locked in. For travel, that's definitely useful because everything feels fully secured. For everyday use, though, I don't think that difference is critical. It also looks cleaner when you are not using it. But once I add the jacket here, the standing test completely changed. And as you can see, it doesn't stay standing anymore. And a few extra features worth mentioning on both backpacks. There is a lower attachment point for extra gear or bike light, and both shoulder straps have a built-in whistle, pretty standard for Osprey backpacks. And before we get into the water test, here's a quick look at both backpacks fully packed. And as you can see, the Osprey Quasar does look noticeably smaller. The Osprey Nebula definitely has a bigger overall presence. Now let's move to the water-resistant test. Both backpacks use the same material, so their results here are pretty much identical. I sprayed both of them to see how they handle water. And yes, the fabric has a water-repellent properties. But as you can see, the fabric inside gets pretty wet pretty quickly, so this is really only enough for very light rain. For everything heavier or longer, you'll definitely need a rain cover. Here's how both backpacks look on me side by side. Both the Osprey Nebula and Osprey Quasar feel very comfortable to wear. And even on my female friend, the Nebula still doesn't feel overly bulky and remains very comfortable. They both have a sternum strap and a hip belt for extra stability. The back panel is also very comfortable, and overall both backpacks feel very well designed. The only thing to keep in mind, once everything is fully adjusted, there are definitely a lot of straps hanging around. Some people won't mind that, others might not love the look, but it's definitely more practical than aesthetic. And this is probably my biggest complaint with both backpacks. Neither of them has a luggage pass-through. I tried attaching them to my suitcase, and it's just not happening without extra accessories. And for travel, that's honestly a pretty big mess. At the end of the day, both are great backpacks. It really depends on how you plan to use them. The Nebula is a great backpack, but for most people, it's more than actually need. The Quasar just feels more realistic, especially for everyday life. But I think the Osprey Nebula makes a lot of sense if you want one backpack both for travel and everyday carry, especially if you need more space. And now tell me in the comments, which one would you personally choose?